MIDF research says it is possible for the market bubble to burst following the FBM KLCI's recent rebound, given the current flood of liquidity in the equity market. MIDF research senior analyst Imran Yassin Muhammad Yusof says although the rebound may look sustainable at the moment, he believes that the rally may not last for long. This is because the market will eventually follow fundamentals and corporate earnings prospects are not that great. The KLCI, which closed at 1,502.63 points today, has rebounded by 23% since tumbling some 400 points to a low of 1,219.72 in March. According to Imran's team's calculations, over $14 trillion or 59.84 trillion ringgit in stimulus programs and packages from countries around the world have been injected into the global economy. This, he says, resulted in some sort of disconnect between the underlying lackluster economic growth prospects and the liquidity-driven bullish stock market. In terms of investment strategy, Imran says investors should look for companies that are fundamentally strong and in a typically defensive sector if possible, as well as dividend yielding. One sector to look at would be tech, he says, as companies continue to embrace new technology. The Statistics Department released some important economic data today, and the numbers are looking tepid, portending weaker growth ahead. The Consumer Price Index is down 2.9% year-on-year in May 2020 to 117.9 versus 121.4 a year earlier, as the transport segment fell by 20.8% due mainly to lower fuel prices. This marks the index's third consecutive month of decline. The prices of food and non-alcoholic beverages and miscellaneous goods and services, however, continue to rise. Meanwhile, the leading index, which provides an early signal of the future economic direction, slumped to negative 5.5% in April from negative 3.6% in March. This was driven by the number of housing units approved and the number of new companies registered. Considering the weaker performance of this index and its growth cycle deviation from the long-term trend, the economy is expected to continue contracting in the coming months. The Statistics Department says an early signal of an economic recession had been shown by the leading index since October 2019. The downward trend was confirmed since February 2020 by the Coincident Index, which tracks the current state of the economy. This index fell sharply in April to negative 15.6% against negative 6.9% in the previous months. Former PM Datuk Sri Najib Razak will seek to have the charges of tampering with the 1MDB audit report struck out in a hearing on July 23rd, after the KL High Court allowed the prosecution to make amendments to the charges. Previously, the charge sheets stated that Najib had given orders to amend the report, which was prepared by the Auditor General before it was finalised and tabled to the Public Accounts Committee or PAC. Following the amendments, the charge sheets now state that Najib had given orders to amend the audit report, which was already finalised by the Auditor General before the report was finalised again and tabled to the PAC. Justice Muhammad Zaini Mazlan ruled that the changes would not prejudice Najib and former 1MDB President Arul Kanda Kandasamy. This is because only 7 witnesses have been called and not all witnesses were subject to cross-examination. Even if these amendments result in the goalpost being shifted, he said it will still remain within the pitch, adding that the duo will be given every ample opportunity to mount their defence. Axiata Group, along with 2 other firms, has been shortlisted to bid for Myanmar's Irrawaddy Green Towers or IGT. Citing Myanmar newspapers, financial website The Asset reports, the other 2 shortlisted bidders are China's Guodong Group and global private equity firm CVC Capital Partners. According to the portal, the reports estimated that IGT could be worth $800 million or 3.42 billion ringgit, and a preferred bidder is expected to be announced next month. The Yangon-headquartered Telecom's tower company is owned by Singapore-based Irrawaddy Tower Asset Holding, whose investors are Dubai's private equity firm Alcazar Capital and Beirut-based investment holding company M1 Group. Incorporated in 2014, IGT is described by the portal as a key player in the development of Myanmar's telecoms market. It has a network of 3,000 telecoms towers and is currently rolling out towers for the country's major operators, which include Norway's Telenor, Qatar's Ooredoo, and domestic mobile company MPT. The Naga National has inked 3 large-scale solar or LSS photovoltaic power purchase agreements with 3 special-purpose companies to build transmission connector projects with a total capacity of 290.88 megawatts of alternating current. They are in relation to the LSS Phase 3 competitive bidding exercise organised by the Energy Commission in the first quarter of 2019. According to a filing to Bursa Malaysia, Saipak Surya Merchang, an SPC set up by Saipak Resources and Impian Bumiria, was awarded a project in Marang, Terengganu. Solar Park Surya Sungai Petani, set up by JKH Renewables and Solarpack Asia, backed the project in Kuala Muda, Kedah, and LSS 3 Pekan, formed by Consortium Berseri Jaya and Hanwha Energy Corp Singapore, will be in charge of a project in Pekan Pahang. The commercial operation date for all 3 projects is December 31st, 2021.